Hi, my name is Joanna Marcotte, and this is my video vignette about the art and science of teaching. So much of what we focused on at the program in Boise State focuses on the elements of student learning, and that all started with EDTech 501 and how to integrate technology into classroom instruction and leverage that for student engagement and helping out those students who maybe in utilizing regular formats are less engaged because the curriculum is not as accessible to them. And so we can really leverage the use of technology tools to make curriculum more accessible to students, whether it's by having students who are having difficulty with fine motor skills and being able to write things out, leveraging speech-to-text tools such as Dragon Dictation or Dictation.io or other things that are out there. And so having those tools that the EdTech program has exposed me to is giving me more within my educator toolkit to be able to apply those best practices to make the curriculum more accessible to students, such as being able to create video instructions by making use of things like screencasting to guide students through a step-by-step process that they may be unfamiliar with. And by leveraging tools such as screencasting within classroom instruction, we are able to model that best practice about how to utilize various digital tools or how to go through a process. And students can pause that video, they can replay that video and work through it at a pace that's comfortable to them, therefore creating a more respectful instructional piece, because students can't pause or replay a teacher in the classroom to the same extent that they can with video tools. In addition, with video tools, you can add closed captioning for those students who have hearing impairments to add that extra element. Another piece within the student engagement that the Boise State experience has helped me with is really taking a look at teacher lesson plans and how do we go more digital so that students can learn in any location. A lot of students are utilizing things like Khan Academy outside people's classrooms as well as inside people's classrooms, but that doesn't really give the personalized curriculum and instruction that can be created by a teacher who knows and is exposed to that student on a daily basis within that scope and sequence. And so being able to create something that is digital in form, that's accessible anytime, anywhere for students, but also has flexibility for students to be able to work at their own pace and not feel like they're being rushed through whole class instruction and that they're ready for the next piece, and really recognizing readiness. Has classes like the Teaching and Learning in Virtual Worlds and the Games in Education class at Boise State have really opened my eyes to a quest-based gamified model that has these elements in place where you can reward students for various behaviors or actions such as completing 5 assignments in 5 days, or students who are stepping up to the plate and who are demonstrating leadership within the classroom, being able to reward that within an experience point system or within a badge-based system, such as the gamified tool 3D Game Lab allows within that construction. But the platform allows the educator to customize that within their class to meet their content needs. As educators and going through the Masters of Education program, what I've learned is there really is a balance between the art as well as the science. So having that toolkit, knowing what those tools are out there, either for educator productivity or for student feedback or just student general process in working through the curriculum, and blending that toolkit with the science behind what is going to work best for a student in a given situation, and trying to give all of those options and making them available to students. And so being able to utilize tools like Google Classroom, but setting them up in such a way so that all students can access content given their various diverse learning needs, that part is the science, and knowing what each individual student needs based upon maybe disabilities that they may have that prevent learning from happening, or that make it more challenging for a student to focus on a specific task, or to be able to read and understand the directions. Students can leverage that digital tool, and having that toolbox, so to speak, or more colors within your painter's palette allows a teacher to be more creative within the classroom in meeting student needs. James Paul G. discusses that there's a need for a paradigm shift within education as far as educators using various elements as instructional tools and as motivators. And what I have learned through the EdTech program is that taking elements of what works well in video games, such as levels, experience points, badges, and rewards, attainable, reachable, clearly spelled out instructional goals that are tied to a winning condition, keep students motivated through the learning process, as well as respecting an individual student piece of readiness. You wouldn't typically jump into a video game and start at the final level trying to overcome the big boss before you've gone through smaller trainings within a video game or easier levels. And so what we need to set up in our classrooms is flexible pathways for students to be able to work through. And if a student has a higher readiness, being able to jump them to a higher level or a higher portion of your class seamlessly so that they can continue to grow and to make progress. Another piece I've learned as part of the EdTech program in regards to the readiness piece is really getting students to go back and review and learn from their mistakes, and really focusing that piece in for them. And I find that the quest-based gamified model that it was utilized in the Games for Education course created by Dr. Chris Haskell really instills that growth mindset of, you're going to get this assignment back and I want you to revise and learn from your mistakes, rather than just moving forward and getting a bad grade on something, really asking students to go back and have that growth mindset. So in conclusion, as far as the art and science of teaching, one of the biggest paradigm shifts that the EdTech Master's program has provided me is that quest-based system that I was exposed to by taking EdTech 531 and EdTech 532, both of which courses were gamified by Dr. Chris Haskell, the creator of the 3D Game Lab platform. Not only did I have the opportunity to take these two classes with the perspective of what a gamified classroom looks like as a student, and how there can be that growth mindset and the sense of choice and a little bit more openness about due dates, and you're all working towards a winning condition, but the pathway that you choose to get there, it's okay that it's different and that the person next to you is working on a Google Drawing activity while somebody else is making a movie, and that it's okay to have that flexibility in the classroom. But I also was able to view it from a teacher standpoint as part of a graduate assistant appointment where I worked with Dr. Haskell in EdTech 202 as well as EdTech 203 as far as how quest clearing occurs and what the structure of those two courses are from a GA standpoint. In the past, I was leveraging technology. However, I was still having all students do the same thing at the same time and not necessarily giving them that flexibility of student choice. And the power of student choice within the classroom can be so huge and so engaging, and it gives students a lot more ownership over the process when they can come in and choose which pathway they're going to take on a given day. Now that I have converted my school's middle school curriculum and a portion of the high school curriculum into a gamified model, what I found is because students have assignments and I have the video instruction built in as well as step-by-step instruction built in, a lot of my students are able to work through at a pace that's comfortable to them, and then they come in and ask questions, and so it's much more of a coaching mindset within the classroom. For my struggling learners, I really have a lot more time to sit with them one-on-one to walk them through something that they're having a hard time with, where I would not have had that same flexibility to do that if everyone in the class was doing the exact same thing at the same time. So I feel that by leveraging technology and this model of using quest-based learning and chunking out assignments into smaller parts and rewarding students along the way, that I'm able to keep students engaged in the learning process and really respect the needs of individual learners within my classroom.